Alright, so today we're going to be doing a gold DPS VOD for Horus. And he says that he thinks his positioning is the worst thing. He wants to get tips on how to improve it. We're playing on Temple of Anubis, and this match ends in a loss.
Ready for battle.
The barrier.
5, 4, 3, 2.
So as McCree, one of your major starting things starting the whole match is figuring out, hey, what can kill me? What do I need to save flashbang for? Pretty much things like that. On their team, they have a Widow who's going to beat you in a duel if she's up here unless you hit all headshots, and pretty much she misses, or if you're behind a shield. Then, after that, they have the Winston, who's going to jump on you, of course, right pretty much in front of you where your Sigma is. And then he's just going to shock you. Make sure to use your flashbang after he lands, because if you use it before he lands, then he's still going to get the leap damage. And if he is a good Winston and knows how to use bubble, it's possible that he will see you bubble before he lands, so it falls to the ground, blocking your flashbang. Next is the Doomfist. The Doomfist can come from over here, or he can come from up, pretty much where you see that little Anubis sign. Above that, I can get there in one moment. Maybe. Alright, there we go. The way that Doomfist can get over, at least the most commonly seen one, is by hopping on this statue here and then throwing himself down onto the team. If that happens, you need to have flashbang prepared or someone's going to die. Alright. Then for Moira, you can flashbang right clicker to kill her, or if she doesn't have Fade, just flashbang 1-1, headshot. And then for Ball, you can always use flashbang to stop him, but make sure your team is ready to follow up on it, because you are not killing him alone if he's at anywhere above half health. He's just going to take the flashbang, adaptive shield, and run out. So pretty much your goal here is to flash the Winston or the Doomfist.
1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
So where you're standing is fine in most cases. However, if you would have been standing here, you could have seen them coming up right here, and you could have gone a couple shots, possibly landing a dink, getting ult charge. Small things, but everything helps. Whoop. There we go.
Hold up now.
Make sure to flashbang the Hammond after he uses his control. He's going to be stuck there. It's a free flashbang. The only reason you should ever try to flashbang him before is if you are going to die from the burst of the pile driver. Because you used it, the Winston's going to jump on. Your Doomfist is jumping on the Winston to try and CC him, but you are now in a terrible place, only being able to see the Hammond. Pretty much you used flashbang too early, and it's going to really hurt you. You fell from high ground, you're about to die here. As McCree, fall back to your shields, always, pretty much. Unless you are going to get in an amazing angle that's going to allow you to straight up immediately kill people. Stay with your front line. Pretty much the fact that you didn't die there was luck. So try to stay with your front line. Unless you specifically are going out to flank to kill somebody with Deadeye or something like that. A good way to play McCree is to stay with your front line, and keep near your backline so you can flashbang any flankers or divers. Flashbang range happens to all of us. So flashbang's range is a sphere. Pretty large one, actually. It's about 2-3 Hammonds all together in a single sphere. So keep that in mind. Also, sometimes it won't flash behind the enemy. It just happens occasionally. So pretty much you didn't stay with your front line. You went off to fight their Hammond. And with the way that you were placed, you were going to have a Doomfist behind you, and their Moira was going to go heal. Pretty much you ran into an unkillable monster. What you could have done better, let me mute that real quick, was staying with your tank line. You would have had flashbang to kill the Doomfist, and then just fired from up here, having the constant high ground, having an easier shot on the Hammond's head. Yes, you're going to start seeing damage fall off and all that, but you're going to be safe.
This life's never uneventful.
We're all soldiers now.
Soldier to get back to point. It's fine, but as soon as you realize that's not able, you should gun switch, which you are.
Objective lost. New defense point.
Right, playing Hanzo for the shield break. If you can land a headshot on the Doomfist, he's coming in, and it allows you to duel the Widow as well. Plus, it makes the Winston bubble pretty much useless. With the way you should pretty much think about playing Hanzo is he can be played on an off angle or directly behind his shield. On an off angle, you are applying pressure. That would be such as playing pretty much where you are, looking here as they cross and getting shots, trying to kill someone, do enough damage, that whole thing. And it's usually the best idea as a tank to do that. Or you can play with your front line, directly shooting down the hallway, and possibly getting a lucky pick, and definitely destroying any shield that comes up. With them playing Winston here, if you don't die to Doomfist and your supports don't die, you should just immediately break the Winston barrier and kill the Winston, putting it into an immediate 5v6 for them. Alright. Nice reaction. Rising Widows there. So, with what just happened here, the shield broke. Yorissa's going to have to place another one, but you are against the Widow. She can one-shot you. You don't have an arrow really pulled. You are in a very, very bad place. When this happens, you have to use your space ability, your jump, to get out. Pretty much, this shouldn't have ever happened, though. As Hanzo, if you're up against a Widow, you need to be holding a corner. Hold this corner usually, and the only thing you have to worry about is checking for the left flank, which, yes, there's a Hammond and Doomfist right there, but you, again, have your slight mobility to get you out of their pile driver or the seismic slam of Doomfist. So, pretty much, you are in a very bad fight, not playing any corner, just standing out, waiting to get picked by the Widow. If she hits a headshot, they're just going to stabilize. Widow's going to get high ground, and there's not much your team can really do about that. Yeah, your Doomfist can try and go for a flank, but you can see on both sides it's being watched. That Widow should never left. She should have killed you. So, play with the corner. You're playing the corner of the shield, but that thing can be destroyed in an instant by pretty much their team running through it. So think natural cover, natural cover, natural cover. So pretty much the only thing you could have done better was to not hesitate with where you were moving. You ended up starting to move back to where your Orisa was. Well, is now, but she wasn't there yet. And then you decide to change and move in here. If you would have came back here, you would have had the possibility of getting away to get a heal in your spawn. And you would have had much more room to maneuver around the Hammond. Getting in an area like that against a Hammond is very dangerous when he has adaptive or is high health, because as a Hanzo, you're not going to kill him alone unless he decides to fight you and he misses quite a few bullets. Pretty much think about where you're falling back to before the fight actually starts. Because it seemed like you had the right idea, and then just one moment of, oh no, I need to move here.
Turn it up.
Stalling is fine.
Start over at the beginning.
Incoming!
There is no
Score 0-2. Switching.
The struggle for martial
Ready for battle.
is so tedious.
Okay, you're playing Sim
The
still.
superiority of
Shield break
ideas.
character, your goal here is to charge your left click, and then with their comp here, the Ryan's gonna be forced to drop his shield. As long as you don't get one shot by their DPS, you should win this. Just take close fights where your team can outmaneuver and just burst down the DPS and the Widow can't get a shot anymore. Stay with your tanks, in other words. The fact that you went for those turrets and got stopped up on that doorway, you even heard the Widow shot could have gotten you killed. Make sure that if you're going to do that, that you go through the doorway cleanly and start crouch spamming. You know there's a Widow.
Get into position. Not yet.
Locking in like that first is very, very dangerous. You need to wait for your tanks, because if the Widow had repositioned to the bridge right here, you could have had your head taken off.
The power of destruction.
Pretty much the only thing you could have done there was try to dodge the Earth Shatter. Play around the corner more, you're just staying out in the open. So pretty much here, I'm going to put it to 0.25 and show you. So,
Not
you
yet.
play here, you see Mercy.
Allow me to repair the damage.
Oh, now you see 3, 4, In reality, you could have just stayed right on the right side of the stairs here and seen
Much
the
obliged.
Reinhardt alone, or on the left side and seen the Reinhardt shield and the Doomfist alone. But by jumping in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, you're peeking 5, 6 people at once.
Barrier unstable.
This shield's about to break, you have to fall back. You jumped, shield broke, that Widow, if she would have been faster, would have taken your head off. Pretty much you're playing too aggressive and you're peeking too many people at once. It's fine if you have an advantage, but at the moment you don't.
Defenses in
You
place.
just keep peeking, peeking. Pretty much where you died at the very end is where you should have been staying the entire time. And you would have destroyed the shield, yes, and then your team could have made a decision. But by constantly peeking, you kept giving them chances. Even though they never did anything with it, they had the chance to.
The power of destruction.
A momentary lapse. Teleporter online. We move quickly. Sentry online. I am claiming the objective. Support me.
This will heal.
You didn't need to roll there, but as far as I remember, you said that yourself, right? Let's back this up to the start of that whole fight. Alright, so their Doomfist is dead, one of your tanks is dead. Where's your other tank? Behind them. Alright. Pretty much by walking in like this, yeah, you saw the Moira, you don't know where the Widow is. If I'm correct. Oh no, you saw a shot there, you didn't know. By walking in like this against a Roadhog and a Widow, you're just asking to die. Yes, it did eventually get your team on the point and get you a couple ticks. However, you need to be staying with your tank line. Otherwise, you can just get picked. Any better of a Widow player would have hit this shot
Sentry online.
and immediately
I am claiming the objective.
either
Support
shot.
me.
You keep peeking her when you really shouldn't be. By peeking her like this, you just keep giving her more chances. You see the Moira here, and you know that their Rhine is nearby as well. What you could do is just gain control of one of these side rooms, play this corner while your team's capping the point with Doomfist Lucio, and anything that tries to get in, you can just peek it and start lasering it down. With the what you're doing is just giving.
This will heal.
I guess the only thing to say about that is try and keep better awareness of your surroundings. If you're not actively shooting at something, take a look around you.
There is still much to be done.
Yeah, you should win this.
Everyone get on the objective.
Raksha Pranali Sangha.
Are those turrets going to do anything that you can't do with your right click at this point? If you see enemies like that, just go for right clicks immediately. It's It's gonna help you charge your ult. If you hit a half-charged or full-charged one, your team's going to kill them very quickly. Throwing out these turrets, yes, it might help in the long run, but you've already won this point. You're just trying to end it as quickly as possible. It's just minor nitpicking on that. It's very obvious you've already won.
New defense point. Objective B.
Gonna make you feel better.
Teleporter online.
By going that immortality field did not need to be dealt with at that point. Yes, it could have caused problems, but because of you walking in and dealing with it immediately, that Roadhog was if you would have played safe, then while charging on the Roadhog, dodging him, he would have never had this. So, yes, gadgets are important to get rid of, but they aren't the most important thing.
I will follow my path.
Your life is the most important thing. Winning the match. Pretty much unless the team calls to destroy it. And even then, there's
Sentries deployed. Teleporter
as soon as you had died and half your team had died, you should never went past the gate to the right. That's just suiciding.
My work is not complete.
Giving them free ult charge, allowing the Rhine Baptiste
Touch from afar.
Doom to have a chance.
Teleporter online. We move quickly.
If that's all you want to call it, you might die anyway. That's all you had to save you. By taking that teleporter and getting out in front of your shield, you force the Zarya to protect you instead of doing her job.
Meteor strike!
Death is an illusion.
Supports, the tanks, pretty much you took resources for a high-risk play that wasn't necessary. You could have just let the Zarya teleport, let your Sigma teleport, and they would have been fine, but you just hung around the Pretty much, you're getting too close to them before your teammates have found an opening. It just seems like you're not playing with your tanks enough and you're taking unnecessary risks because of that. So play the corners next to your tanks more. Play with your tanks. Don't go off on solo missions unless you absolutely have to. Hero missions are known for that for a reason. They're hero missions. It's likely you're gonna die.
Attackers ready for battle.
Human strength will only get you so far.
True strength is hard work and dedication. No ostentation.
Five, four, three, two, one. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Again, walking in front of the tanks, you're gonna die for that. Or at least you should. That was 3 misses, 1 shot.
Teleporter online.
Don't take that. It seems like you're just... I don't know whether it's you're being cocky
I will
or
follow
if you're
my
not
path.
thinking, but that is never good. Yeah. Not unless you have a full team going through with a Baptiste and you're going to anti-nade the
Teleporter
Baptiste.
online.
That's not going to work.
From light.
60 seconds remaining.
You're just being extremely aggressive when you don't have to stay with your tank. That seems to be the
Curtain is down.
general
Oh, I guess they
message
did have
of this game, that you just don't stay with your front line up. You're not playing position.
Easy.
If you want to play that aggressive, that flanking type role, play Doomfist.
30 seconds.
Nice shot. Let's replay that last bit. So you could have gone high ground during this attack thing. That's just a fact. Peeking here was necessary. You were running out of time. You didn't realize that there was a shield in front of you. You could have jumped out to the side and possibly killed the McCree. But at that point, if you would have taken the high ground, you would have had free fire down. And that would have been the best possible thing. And if you had taken high ground, you also could have dropped to the point to contest it if your Doomfist hadn't gone there in time, if your team hadn't gone there in time. So yeah, here this could have been done much better with high ground. You would have killed McCree that killed multiple of your teammates.
Score 2-2. Switching sides. Initiating match.
Alright, you're playing McCree again. They have a Hanzo, they have a Doomfist. You have to play quarters with your team here, or else that Hanzo's gonna blow your head off. The Doomfist is gonna run you down.
30 seconds.
Imagine the worst possible.
Yeah, pretty much here you
No.
need to save
Avoid
flashbang for Doomfist most of the time. Unless you feel like their Winston or Hammond will die for it. Whoop, too far.
Ready for battle. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective
At the beginning of the VOD, I said that if you tried to flashbang the Winston, wait for him to hit the ground and bubble. That's why. If you would have turned around, you may have been able to kill the Moira. You knew that they were contesting points, so you ran back good. However, you didn't actually deal with what was contesting. So you seem to switch characters a lot, even though it's not necessary. Probably because you think you're Probably because you think that it's your character dragging you down, when in reality it's just you being too aggressive and not playing with the team. If you want to do that whole flanking style, then do it. Pick characters that can do it. But if you're playing Symmetra, Hanzo, McCree, play with your team. Or with Hanzo, you can play an off angle, but that's not flanking. As Tracer, you can go for the Pharah, but it's better to always go for the supports, unless she's a very low.
I'm back.
Alright, that's the end of the bot. Alright, so things
Victory.
to work on. Play with your team more, or pick characters that you can work alone with, like Doomfist. Stop unnecessarily taking risks, like all those teleport plays. They're fine if you have your entire team backing you up and you know that it's might work and it gets called, but doing it at solo mission is gonna get you killed every time. Yeah, just play with your team more. It's very basic, but that's the thing hurting you the most.